see what previous students have done. As I say, I have not seen these before, and she's just sending the slides, not the presentation. And Akash, put away that camera, please.
No, I'm just
for your eyes only. You can take notes, but no more, okay?
GDPR.
Yeah. So, well, template, you've got all the details needed on the first slide. Then, I want to turn this off. Discipline area, MSc, subject area. Very clear, not too much text. They have included the ARU logo, which is interesting. Although it's slightly weird, which is annoying.
It's stretched.
Yeah.
We copy and paste it from the website and just adjust it.
Not from the corner. Research area of interest, so a bit more detail about what it is that they're interested in doing. So we're going from the broad international project management to an area understanding of continuous improvement in project management. Narrowing again, compare the gap between strategy and delivery in project management. Then from there, narrowing it down a bit more, recognising dynamics, socio-economic landscape, driven, scientific, etc. Then, oh no, that's interesting. Describe the source of the data.
It's a picture of the article.
It's a picture of the article. I wouldn't do that.
The initial points. Initial page, like first page, we need to.
This one?
Not this one, the image you just showed here.
I don't like that. I think it would be much better to actually type out the title and the name of the journal and, you know, pretty much give it a full reference. Yeah. I'd say give it a full reference. And you could in there also confirm that it's from a peer-reviewed journal. I think this looks a bit messy. It's not, can't read it.
Just to prove that the article does exist.
Yeah, it's just a bit. Yeah, so I don't like that. Give it a full reference and say where it's from properly. And then we've got a sentence summarising it. I'd probably put 2 sentences. A sentence seems a bit brief there. Then we've got critical analysis. Okay, it's very recent and important. I'd like the date there. Very broad.
It's a grammar mistake.
Yes.
Even English, it just comes up.
Well, I think sometimes if English is your second language, you're better at spotting issues because you've been taught differently.
Probably.
Other things I don't like, there isn't a single reference on that page. So if you're going to talk about ontology, then reference it. Show me how you know about ontology. If it's written by Professor Plinvert, I know. Yeah. So check. So be clear. It will be the journal that's peer reviewed, and also per article will be peer reviewed. What do you mean by academic exposure? Now, what you could do is on Google Scholar, it will tell you how many times this article has been cited. So that's a way you could show academic exposure rather than just telling me it's had exposure. More grammar issues. So it, yeah.
It's not the best word.
Again, no references.
Yeah.
If you gave me this with no references, I would be really disappointed. It's describing it without really showing how you know that.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you it passed.
It's just 3 references.
I again would be very disappointed with this. It's not a good pass, but it is a pass. Please don't. Not allowed. No. So that's the first one. Then there's one more which I believe has a better mark. Yeah, that was 58. So let's see if we.
So that was 7 slides, including.
Yeah, which is what guidance says, of course. Alright, so this is the second one that we've got. Title slide again has the key information, module code, number. I think you should probably also have on that which degree it is you're doing. So what's the title of your degree? Outline and presentation. I quite like that, but you've only got 7 slides. The other thing about the last one, which I don't like, at no point did it actually say what utility, validity, or utility, validity, and relevance means. If you're going to use these terms, you need to show what they mean. But I do quite like the idea of an overview. Alright, so we're back to research focus. Relevance, right, so international project management we can see now, but it would have been nice to have that straight away. PMOs. Okay, so we can see straight away this has got references. References are, that's a bit annoying. Sorry, detail annoys me. This is italics. This isn't. It shouldn't be italics. Relevance, challenges, the importance. Right, so it's setting out things fairly clearly. Source of data. It was last year's work, so 2024 is good. Can we see?
This is organisation with Z, so it's American English.
It would be helpful to actually give us the title. It's probably something around the role of project management in international project management, but it doesn't actually tell us the formal title. Now remember, people will be talking around this, so maybe they're explaining it in a bit more depth. Maybe this is just a prompt and they will have gone into more detail. So it's quantitative data, global survey. How is it relevant? That's okay. Alright, critique of data collection and research methods. It used quantitative data, a mono method. Good. Strengths, Saunders, limitations, reference, recommendations. I suppose that's a recommendation for a way of improving it using a mixed methodology instead. So that's good. I like this.
The table.
Yeah, I like the table, it's quite clear. And it's got a reference on it too, so you've got Saunders used as reference. This, not entirely sure why it's there. Maybe they talked about it, don't know. Then we've got application and evaluation. Okay, that's quite useful. Now again, point 2, utility and validity. We've got nothing there to explain what they're going to say. That does need a reference, and it does need to be really very clearly explained, and to show how the paper you're looking at either does or doesn't do this. Relevance, yes. Gaps and limitations, good. So lacks qualitative data, that pulls through, so that's good. Combining would be more comprehensive, yes. Oh no, that's interesting. Limited discussion on how cultural differences within global teams might impact the effectiveness. I'm teaching Term 2 people at the moment, and what I'm doing is about cultural differences and management, and how working across nations needs to have that taken into account. So that's quite nice. It will kind of pull it forward a bit too. And reference list, better, but I have some critiques of the reference list. What might they be?
It's all same font.
No, not too much. Not enough.
It's all same.
10 reference.
All same font.
Might not be Harvard.
It's not Harvard. Not Harvard.
It's not
So the title of the article should be in quote marks.
Yeah.
In the journal should be in italics. And where it's being accessed online, you need to include
Link.
The link.
the link.
Should be Harvard.
Yeah, so either the full URL or the DOI and the date accessed.
How can you even tell there's some page?
The day page. Yeah. Oh, the page is okay.
Compared to the one before, I would say much better, but it's still not Harvard. And given where you are in your studies, we would expect that. Also, Harvard doesn't need bullet points. It is in alphabetical order, which is good, and they have used Saunders, which is good. Alright, so that was that. Alright, so another couple of important things. Lunchtime probably, or when you're doing some group work. I'm going to do the programme for
Thursday.
For what?
for presentations,
Oh.
which is 2 weeks. So your presentation day is the 11th. That's correct, thank you very much. Next week we've got some teaching, but we've got time for practice, and today we've got time for some group work where you can start to talk to other people and start sharing some ideas. For the presentations, it's 9 minutes, isn't it? It's not too big a class, so I think probably what I'll do is I'll have 4 of you on each hour. So I'll draw up a rota which will have 4 for 10 o'clock, 4 for 11 o'clock, 4 for 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, hopefully not 4 o'clock, but if necessary. If your 10 o'clock comes straight in, unless you're late and the door's shut. If the door's shut, there's comfy seats outside and make yourself at home, but don't be late. If you're 11 o'clock and you come at 10 to and the door's still shut, sit outside. Once I am ready for the next group to come in, I will send them all out at once and I'll get everybody in at once. Okay. whilst your colleagues are presenting, you sit quietly. I don't mind what you do as long as it's quiet.
Week 8, 11 of March.
Yes. We'll have to all sit over there because that's where the camera is. I'll get another computer set up at the back of the room somewhere, and I will be watching and marking from the back of the room because I'll be marking you as you're doing it. So I'll make sure you've got that. Carol's going to put it on the VLE, and I'll also send it out to all of you through the weird internal mailing system. When you get that, if there's a problem, don't reply to that email because it disappears into the ether. You should already have my email address, but I will remind you.
Annette.Halliwell at.
The main reason I don't get emails when they're sent is people don't spell my name right.
Is E. Ah, okay.
There's lots of N's, lots of T's, lots of L's. So, if there is a problem, email me on that address. Good morning. And I'll do. Oh, one more. Sorry. Right, let's do that again.
Intelligence.
I'll do the timetable the way I do the timetable. If you look at it and you think, oh, I really can't make that, look at whose at a time you can make, talk to them, arrange to swap it, then tell me that you swapped it. All right, I'm happy to do swaps, but you need to tell me who you want to swap with, agree it with them, and then I'll just put it on the thing. If you are ill on the day, then you'll need to do a extenuating circumstances thing.
Go to DOS.
Go to DOS, yeah. So go to DOS, speak to DOS, let them know as soon as possible. This is examinable. So there's going to be a very small amount of flexibility on the day, but that is a very small amount of flexibility on the day. Any questions before we continue?
Annette, in this presentation you showed before, I see only 4 slides.
No,
Yeah.
7, I believe.
No, the last one.
Oh, the last 7.
It's only 4 slides.
It's all right. So just give all the information.
Ah.
It doesn't say there is no.
Okay.
It's a maximum rather than a minimum.
Ah, the minimum is?
There is no minimum.
Okay. You can explain in one, it's okay.
Oh, yeah, if you explain it all, that's fine. Remember, we are recording as well.
Don't think it's your classmate. Yeah. I don't recognize his face.
He was stood at the door a few minutes ago.
Yeah, he looked confused.
So there is no minimum number of slides.
Okay.
If you cover all of the points, it's all good.
Perfect. In 9 minutes. And the minimum time is?
Well,
minimum time is 9.
Again, there isn't really a minimum time, but you've got a lot to cover. So if you only do 5 minutes and you get everything in, can I understand what you're saying?
Yeah, sure.
You know, if you're I once had a student who had far too much in her presentation, so rather than be culling it, she talked like this all the way through, and it was a really fast presentation. You know, you're not helping yourself there. So try, and easier said than done. I know when you're a bit nervous, it's easier to talk more quickly.
I tend to do that.
So do I. I take a breath, I'll slow it down, try and be clear. And remember, you know, whatever you do from here, presentations is going to be a big part of your life. You know, any kind of job promotion thing I've done in the last 20 years, I've had to do a presentation.
You should know that I'm anxietic and I suffer from panic attacks as well.
You got a sore.
Not really. I don't know if I should like let them know.
Let's talk about it later. Okay, any other questions? Cool. All right, let me just get rid of the writing. And that's all over my own bag. Alright, so today we are going to be looking at research questions. What is a good research question? I've just picked up my new supervisee. So I've had a look at the ref form, research ethics approval form, and the question is too vague. So I've had to send it straight back to them and say, your question is too vague. You need to clarify what it is you want to do, why you're going to do it, what do you want to find out. So we're starting with areas of research interest, and pretty much I think all of you have decided what is your research area of interest. For this, it should relate vaguely to your qualification, but actually that's pretty easy, really, isn't it, if you frame it the right way. So we're going to think about what makes a good question. Now, we did look a little bit at titles week before last, I think, didn't we? And we thought about how the words you use in your title can show what it is that you want to do. And there is some individual and group work today so that you can start to work on this and think about it for your assessment. Alright, so for the group work, let's give you 5 or 6 minutes. It shouldn't take long because I think you've done most of it. 2s and 3s. Answer these questions, and I'm just going to set a timer.
Not really.
Big bang.
Oh my God.
Yes, I do have an area of interest. Yes, I do have a problem issue. I need more time because it's gone too long on the group presentation. Do you have a preferred start of research? What is the process of mixed? So easy.
Easy peasy. But the last question, I think, is my research is a little bit mixed, 50-50.
Yeah.
Because, no?
You should, I'm not saying that it's ideal, but I find it ideal.
No, presentation.
Like the research question.
I can find many articles, but I don't feel comfortable.
Don't look for too much, otherwise you're going to get lost in all the
I have 20.
Jesus Christ.
I have 20. Yeah, really, 20 articles.
20 articles?
Yeah. I download. I'm finding Google Scholar 20 for my interest, but
that's for your dissertation. That's for your
I don't know. It's for the presentation, but
that's too much.
it's too much. I know, because is the topic. I like to find something exact because this document is from China, from Philippines. She says it's okay, but
Pick max 5
what is this?
for the presentation. Your top 5, and leave the rest for the
Uh-huh.
proposal. Pick your top 5. It makes your life easier. And the
I'm fine. I'm fine. One excellent, but don't have methodology. Don't have.
so that's an excellent then.
Uh,
My
and
area of interest is event planning.
what did you Ari?
Event planning.
Even manage. Ah, okay.
Yes.
You like that?
Yes. So,
Cool.
I mean, I've been reading it on Google Scholar. I saw some.
Ah, very good.
But I've not put aside my methodology and all of it. I'm going to be doing that from today. How many articles have I put together? For my dissertation, that's what I'm doing. Event planning.
We have a lot of work.
So, is there a problem or issue that you would like to solve? Next week or 2 weeks time?
2 weeks. Week 8, March 11.
This week 6, this week 9.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, we know.
Well, 1 minute it seems like
Research
ages
different
waiting,
cultures.
and then suddenly we're like, oh, 2 weeks.
It's not ages, it's around the corner.
Yeah, I think we kind of agree.
Good. You know what you're doing.
We hope so.
It's going to try the copy, please.
I don't think that.
No, the another is not. This is not working.
Try the USB.
Ah, the USB? Yeah, maybe.
Try the USB slot. Should work.
Is it okay?
What is this? Ah.
Check. It should have like a light on or something.
Ah.
There's a button on the side.
Oh yes, it's just challenge.
Looks like a phone, but it's not a phone.
Yeah, because I think it's a phone. I look in the screen.
No, it's not a phone.
It looks like a phone, it's not.
Yeah, I don't. It's confusing a little bit.
Infatti tipo ho fatto 3 domande.
How's your prep going for the marathon?
Half marathon in 10 days. So that's a lot.
Oh, you did
How's
the
it
marathon.
going?
Okay. 11 months some days.
How many
Running
kilos?
outside?
How many kilos is that? 20 something.
20?
20 something.
Ah, okay.
It's a half marathon.
It's in London.
No.
Where?
Lisbon.
Lisbon. Oh, yes. Very nice.
Is that where you live?
No.
No, no, no.
I'm going for long weekend.
I want to live there.
Yes.
It's very nice.
It is nice, standard of living. Yeah, quietish, good food, all right, let's see how we're all going. I think time's nearly up. Check. Yeah. 13 seconds left. That'll do.
L'attitude.
All right. So, does anyone not have an area of interest yet?
So again?
Does anyone not have an area of interest?
I have one.
Good. I'm just double checking that we're all,
Uh-huh.
we're all we're all on step 1. Yeah.
Please, we can hear the class. Go to speak. Yes, I need to focus.
Talking about the assignment.
Yeah, but
Do you have an area of interest, please?
Jesus.
Which is?
So I was thinking to find like create the research question.
Ladies, we're feeding back now.
Answer because basically it's about influencer and the intention of consumer to purchase.
Okay.
So the research question that I was thinking it was on the credibility, social attractiveness, and attitude.
Okay. Okay. So, what are your action words going to be? Explore, investigate, understand, evaluate. Okay. Right. So, evaluating the impact of
the influencers.
Okay. The influence of influencers. The impact of influencers. Yeah, okay, cool. So, is there a problem within that, do you think? Now, this problem thing comes really from where people are in practice and within their workplace, whatever it is, they are noticing something and they want to investigate it to try and kind of solve a problem. So for many of you, there won't necessarily be a problem there. And there won't necessarily be a solution, really. Preferred style of research, qualitative or quantitative or both?
Both. Mm-hmm.
All right, so a bit of qualitative, thoughts and feelings, a bit of quantitative, numbers, percentages. Okay, cool. Not Hassan. Sorry, you, green jumper. I've forgotten your name today. No, green jumper, that's you.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, Akash.
Akash.
Yeah.
Sorry, Akash. What's your area of interest?
Social media.
Okay.
And the problem or issue, I would like to say, like youth are actually, moving towards the online shopping more than offline.
Okay.
So I'll work on it, and I think how I can solve this will have a qualitative research like surveys
Okay.
from age group 18 to 25 or 40, and have a survey like how would you like how they actually prefer like they prefer offline or online, so that I'll have a data.
Okay, that's
That's
interesting.
my perception. Like they are moving towards the online things, right? And through the social media, a lot of ads are coming in the social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my perception, and for that I'll do some research through this qualitative approach.
Okay, so qualitative approach would be good.
Yeah.
There might be room for some kind of quantitative element to say our feeling is that people are moving more towards online shopping, but can you justify that feeling in terms of figures?
Yeah. For that, we need to do some survey. We need to select the country and see.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at already published data.
Yes, we can.
To see kind of where sales are going from. So that could be quite interesting. Yeah. Okay. And mainly qualitative, you say?
Yeah, for many qualitative, but yeah, for the age and things, we can, refer quantitative as well.
Okay. Now, things to think about as you move forward is if you are going to survey, which is perfectly possible, who and how. Okay, so think about that because those are important points. Mamuna? Okay, so we need to get moving on that then, don't we? 2 weeks today. Yeah? So maybe when we're doing some group work later on, you can start to get some ideas from people and think what would be a good thing. Who else have we got? Maria. Maria? No.
Angie.
Angie, thank you. Dave is like my prompt here. Angie.
What was the question, sir? But is my area?
Yeah.
Well, we were discussing here because we are international students, so I would like to apply from property management and tokenization. So that's my topic. And the problem that I would like to solve is how quick you can purchase a property from different areas or from overseas.
Okay.
If you like to buy a house in Colombia or in Spain in another city, it's always a broker there. So it depends how the coin is now, how much the coin. That's what it's gonna work out. So basically, I would like to decrease that. I would like to solve that. That means I would like to get that.
Okay.
It's always an intermediary there.
Okay, that's interesting and very current.
From last one, if I have something first kind of research, I would say a mix. I will use quantity and quality database.
Okay.
Because I have many people that are already professionals in different countries. I work with them, so I would like to send some surveys over there and have their opinion about the topic, obviously. Quality from your articles, I will use.
Okay, cool. Now, it's always really useful if you have a list of contacts that you can use. However, you will need to be a little bit careful and think about how have you got those contacts. So if they've come to you through work, then you will have to agree with work to approach them to ask them if it's okay. Now, if you're self-employed, that's all fine, because then you're talking to yourself about whether it's going to be okay or not. The larger the organisation, the more problematic that can be. Whereas if you're in a very small organisation or you work for yourself, that is really quite straightforward. You say to yourself, I'm going to go through my CRM system, send everybody an email and say, hey, I need a bit of a favour. That's fine. If you work for the government, for the NHS, never going to happen. Not even worth thinking about. And there'll be lots of places in between which may or may not engage with you. All right, thank you very much. So, who else would like to speak? Bob.
I think I've already said what is my area of interest. It's AI in advertisement.
Okay, cool. The use of AI in advertisements. Yeah. I saw a great AI advert online yesterday with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, which was hysterical. You saw it?
Not yet, because I'm not a big fan of either of them.
Oh, well, neither am I, which is what made it so brilliant. So search for it, because no, I'm not a big fan. See if you can spot the reason I bring it up is AI is brilliant until it's not brilliant. So you know there is a mistake in there which is very obvious to the human. A friend of mine wanted to generate an image for first aid and was using AI to kind of generate an image of somebody injured. And I think, you know, the fingers are all wrong number of fingers, and legs do weird things, because they don't really quite understand.
And depends which AI you use as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There's quite a lot of them people can choose from.
Yeah, so there's free versions, premium versions. There's Grok, and yes, like 5 or 6 now, aren't there?
At least,
right. So that could be very interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, the role, the history, and I think the future. It's like how the advertisement gonna look like, if the AI is gonna have any impact. Will be embedded, not embedded.
Okay, cool.
issue, I don't have like any issues because there's way too many articles. I think that's probably the issue
Right.
that I have to sift through
There's a lot of
all
information there.
Not
all the
20 like
articles
me.
and not 20 and find the adequate information.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? You know, certainly with something like AI, there is so much information there. Trying to work your way through it and kind of get what you need is quite difficult.
Yeah. And as everyone else, I'll be probably combining the
Mix.
research styles.
Yeah, and I think, you know, for most research, mixed is a really good choice. Good morning. It gives you the best of both worlds if done correctly, like all research. So thinking about your project, so we're talking to you now. Thinking about your project could be something you've seen at work. You've seen something at work and you think, that's a bit weird, wonder why that happens. Could be an area of your personal interest. So for example, Angie, this is linked to your work, isn't it? So it's a very clear link there. What's piqued your interest, Barb? Why have you chosen this in particular?
Advertisement.
Right, so it's all around you all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and every time you pick up a paper, you see AI on the front page. So that's going to be attracting attention, isn't it? Could be something, yeah.
Sorry. So when you have to describe why you're choosing that.
Very briefly.
Very quick.
And
But
so,
is it about you or is it about?
Is your interest?
It's your interest, so yes, it's about you.
I'm interested.
Yeah, which might link to your job or your qualification, your career, your future aspirations, any of those things it might link to. But this is just a sentence, really.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And I would say it's only something you really need to talk about in your presentation. When you get to the research proposal, just go straight into it, really. It could be, if you're lucky, part of a sponsored research project. It could be as you're doing all of this reading, and this is something I would recommend to you, as you're reading all of these articles, when you get to the bottom, they'll talk about what's next, where are the gaps, what haven't they addressed. And so those are always really good places to start looking and thinking about, well, what could I do in some small way to fill that gap? It's really important that your research proposal is practical, that it is realistic, that you can do it
In the future.
in the future. None of you is going to solve world poverty, you know, or invent a new Bitcoin, or, you know, any of these grandiose things. It's got to be something you can actually do. Sometimes people want to look at concepts or theories and think how they relate to practice. I'm teaching this management module at the moment. There's a lot of management theories, and some of them seem quite outdated. So maybe you want to look at one of these models and think, how relevant is that model now with AI, with home working, with hybrid working? Does it really matter? Should we be paying it any attention whatsoever? It should, where possible, be original in some way. It should have a purpose rather than looking at the same problem in the same way, because then you're not finding anything new. And although you are small-scale researchers in a relatively small university, you know, we're not going to find DNA or any of these things. It should still add to society in some way. All right, so we will spend a little bit of time thinking about this, mainly for those of you who are still working your way through this. So I won't give you too long, just 5 minutes. Think about what it is you're interested in and why you're interested in it, and how it links to other things that are happening at the moment, maybe.
But we need to do the mind map and the presentation?
No, no. Doesn't mean it's not important.
It's
today.
to improve the research.
Yeah, exactly. To start you kind of thinking more widely about your presentation.
Good to know.
I'll just give you a couple of minutes.
Don't overdo it.
I did it before, but
And of course, things change all the
I'll
time,
show you.
don't they? Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh,
Juling the idiot, but
no thanks.
something like that. It's good.
Yeah. Oh god. I'm not sure I'm gonna see that video, but I'm not sorry.
You're not sure what?
I was trying to find the video she told me about the AI one, but no, I think I don't want to
This
see
topic is very good. I like this topic you choose. AI and advertising. But advertising is very big topic.
that. Yeah, but
What
advertising,
in what in social media,
yeah,
television,
like
radio,
video,
video.
yeah, video.
I worked in advertising and television long time before,
Like
but
video,
now
but
it's deep.
video
But
is on TV as well.
and now it's
Video
deep.
is on,
Now it's when you need to create video content for advertising, you need to follow many steps. No, the brief with the client. You need to do very good research. It's more psychological.
yeah, no, that's what I
You
like
need to
about it.
analyze the client before what he wants.
Not
What is
just the client, but also the audience. There's a lot of psychology. I had psychology in
Yes, but
secondary
in the
school. I like it.
negotiation of advertising, the last decision is the client. When you try to explain to the client, no, you you explain. Okay, tell me, what is your audience? We know the theory, we know it, but sometimes the client, no worries. You is the professional. No, but I need to know your inspiration with your brand. I need to know why you love this brand. You know, I
Yeah.
love this one. It's very the AI for this work is very useful. Very useful.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I found I don't want to watch the video. If it's
It's really.
yeah, I just saw the pictures and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. But somebody had hacked into the system, had it on all the tellies in the building, or all the monitors in the building.
You.
I know.
Oh my god.
But what the AI has got wrong is this to
Defeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they were both the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they were both left or right. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the pictures and I'm like, I don't want to play this. Just
That's
the
enough.
picture of its own is like,
That's
okay,
it.
no.
So it's just really interesting how things can be used and misused and appropriated and become really quite what's the word? Trying to undermine something. There's a better word, but I can't think what it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No.
I'm not gonna guess this time. I'm gonna guess. But there was another video. There was like I think all the presidents, but this AI like was more advanced. I'm gonna try to find it.
I think
because
that one's
one
pretty advanced.
Nah, because the feet are wrong.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So
but
that's very
there's
amateurish.
the kind of they haven't just stuck heads on. It's more sophisticated than that.
Yeah, but there's something you probably could use like create yourself. That's what I mean. But there are like there are AI videos and AI videos because you can create a picture in one AI and then you can basically animate it in a different AI.
Right.
So you can combine more to get the result you want. So it's not as simple as people think. It's like you put a prompt and you get the whole thing.
No.
you can combine AI to create something much more advanced.
Yeah. Okay, so time is pretty much up now. Those of you who aren't still sure what you're going to do, have you managed to start thinking about anything that you're curious about? Yeah? What are you curious about? When you read the paper in the mornings, what are you looking for? Just think about that curiosity. And, well, we should all be curious all the time, and especially as students. All right, so thinking about this area of interest will give you a sense of where to start. And I think those of you who are a bit further on in this process have found you search for something, you read that thing, you think, that's interesting, I wonder what, and you go down there, and then you see something and you go down there, and then maybe you come back and you're kind of circling around, but all the time you're getting more information, you're finding out more things, and it's helping you to give a sense of what's going on and use that to develop questions. These questions are important because, remember, you've got your proposal, which will lead your dissertation. So a good proposal will be a better dissertation when we come time for that. All right, so to remind you, sure you all remember this, individual presentation. Outline an area of research interest, so that's really the starting point. Your rationale, so that really, Angie, is what you were saying earlier on. Your rationale, just a sentence. Why is it you want to, oh sorry, it wasn't Angie, it was a lady next to you. Why do you want to include this? So that's your kind of personal bit. That's the end of your personal bit. Yeah, from there it's about the source of data. Last 3 months, and we've said preferably January. So if you search 2025, that's just much easier. Some of it will have been written in 2024, published in 2025. It's the publishing date we're interested in. You need to critique. So that means not just describing, although you do need to tell me about the paper, what it's done, why it was there. I'm really thinking about, well, how did they collect the data? Was that appropriate? Is there a better way of doing it? How does it link to your area of interest? And key, evaluation of the validity and the reliability. And I really, really, really hope to see in your presentations, when we talk about validity in research, what we mean is, as discussed by Saunders or Bell or anybody else, this is how this paper shows validity. When we talk about reliability, this is what we mean. And again, show how the paper does it. Because we use these terms quite casually in everyday life, whereas in research they have really specific meanings. Your work must be referenced. And I expect more than 3. If you have an extra slide, because you've got lots of references, great. I'd rather have an extra slide so I can read it. Because on the recording, if you just go kind of 1, 2, on the recording I can always pause and look at it longer. But it's harder to make it bigger.
It will be sent in to you anyway, so you can...
It will, yes. So, and that's a good point. You should have you got the links yet?
I don't think
no, so next
Haven't
week
checked it.
probably you'll get the links. You'll have an individual email to all of you showing you where on SharePoint to put your work. So when you do your presentation, what I'll do is I'll get all of your work off SharePoint, so you don't need to worry about bringing sticks or anything. I'll download it from SharePoint and simply play it on the screen for you. I will bring this clicker if anybody wants to use it. If you want to have a play with it today, then that's fine as well. I'm happy for you to have a play. And once you're used to it, they're really very, very straightforward. But if you haven't done it before, then it can always be a bit more kind of, well. So happy for you to have to play with that today. And it's just much easier because you can just click it on.
Yeah.
Providing it is a PowerPoint, not PDF. All right, so the research proposal should identify your subject area and at least one research question. You need to show why this is an important area to study, and that will be your mini literature review. Within that, you'll need to have at least 3 academic articles, one of which can be the one you've already done. The other 2 can be older. Depending on your topic, AI, I would expect it to be kind of 5 years. Unless you're looking at the history and something really seminal, in which case it might be older. And you need to use that to explore and show what you know about this topic already to justify the research you're going to do. So in there you might have your data about falling footfall on the high street, how shopping habits have changed. So looking at papers about that to show why it's important. That's where that would come in. You will then look at, so we've covered this bit. Now, you will only have a hypothesis if you are carrying out some quantitative research where you're going to look at a if-then sort of question. So, you know, if I make, well, my favourite one is giving you a free breakfast. If students have free breakfast, they'll come on time and work harder. So that would be the hypothesis. In my research, I'd split you into 2 groups. One group would have free breakfast, the other group wouldn't have free breakfast, and I then look at in the future and see what your rates of attendance are. So a hypothesis is necessary when you're making some sort of change to a variable of some sort. Breakfast, no breakfast. So if you're doing qualitative, mixed, you probably won't have a hypothesis. Your methodology. Right, so in the methodology section, you need to explain what methodology you will be applying to this area of research, qualitative, quantitative, mixed, why you're applying it, and then having done that, go on to show how you're going to do that. If you are planning on doing a survey, as Akash says, at this point you need to say who your participants are going to be. Okay, it's not enough to say, I'll do a survey. Who were these people? How are you going to do the survey? And remember, most surveys are easier electronically, in which case JISC is the one that you'll use. At the moment, you don't need to set up a JISC account or anything. You simply need to say, for reasons of data security, ethical, these sort of things, data will be collected electronically through JISC. In the past, we've used SurveyMonkey. I've used SurveyMonkey, but it's not secure enough.
No.
Not for this kind of work. So universities won't use SurveyMonkey anymore.
Ah, no.
No.
Oh.
They use JISC instead.
JISC. Okay.
It's an acronym, can't remember what it stands for. I think it might be some sort of Quango. Or a not-for-profit.
Is that a J?
Yeah, JISC. Probably .org, maybe .com.
Is JISC.com?
I think so.
It's a United Kingdom organization.
Oh, there you go.
Network and IT services
No.
and digital resources in support of further and higher education research.
There you go.
Joint Information Systems Committee.
Joint Information Systems Committee.
That's the acronym stands for.
If you're going to use a systematic review, then what's the acronym you're going to use? PRISMA. Preferred review identification something method. Google. Prisma.org.
I have to. I don't remember those.
No, I don't remember. That's if the plan is to use a systematic review, and if you're talking about participants, then this is why I don't really like using two boards.
Systematic review is the Prisma. If you want to do
Preferred
survey, you need to do it through GIS.
Yeah, thank you.
And then the other thing to think about when you're planning is CAS. So this is selecting the data, and then this would be reviewing the data. If you look at the assessment guide, you have a suggested word count for all of these sections, and the marks are related to how much stuff there is. So go with a suggested word count. It's really important. You also, remember, must include something about ethics in there. Now you might think it's a systematic review, I'm using all secondary data, I'm never speaking to an individual, there are no ethical issues. So you need to explain why. You could explain that, you know, some ethical issues previously have been this, and this is why you're doing it this way to get around that. But you must include something about ethics in it. You've got something like, I don't know, 20 points. So if you don't do that, then you're missing out on a whole chunk of points. What's the other thing you must do when you submit your work?
Don't add your name, just your student number.
That's correct, but I'm thinking of something linked to ethics.
The quiz.
The quiz.
An appendix.
As an appendix. Yes. You must include the ethics quiz as an appendix. So let me remind you.
We have to download the certificates.
So BLE.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, let me just get rid of my glasses. Right, so we are, well, this is the other one, cross-cultural leadership and human capital management. That's the other one I'm teaching at the moment. Alright, so assessment and assessment guidance, coursework assessment, 60% of the overall mark, 3,000 words.
How many thousand? 2?
3. Yeah, ethical consideration, 20 marks. Right, this is the bit Maureen I was just talking about. Academic skills, 10 marks. Ensure that you attach an appendix with your ethics quiz certificate, Failure to do so will result in a fail grade on account of an incomplete submission. So if you go to week 10, this is the quiz. We will complete it in week 10.
Which is next week.
No, week 10 is 4 weeks, thank you for that. You'll see the instructions here. All students must complete this quiz by the end of the module so that you are able to progress to your final project. You will not be able to apply for ethical approval unless you have completed this. When you have completed, please send a screenshot too. There's actually a slightly easier way of doing it rather than the screenshot, but it's easier if I show you. In week 10, we will be doing the quiz in class. If you want to do it ahead of time and you're able to download your certificate, fabulous. If you're not sure about doing that, then please wait and we can do it in week 10. It's multiple choice. You can take it as many times as you like. Pass mark is 70, so 7 out of 10, I believe. And it's multiple choice. All the information you need is there. It's not difficult. And the questions are fairly self-explanatory. Sorry, Maureen, what's the question?
Oh no, before you moved on to the structural proposal, you were advising us the kind of what's it called, interview techniques to use.
Oh, JISC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Prism
not interview.
And what else? There were 3.
Oh, right. JISC, Prisma.
Prisma.
Yeah.
And
CASP. CASP. Again, it's an acronym, and again, I don't remember what it stands for. Critical appraisal, something.
It's a tool.
It is a tool. All right, any questions about the proposal or the ethics quiz? Who's done it already?
I'm about to do it now.
Okay.
So I'm going to sit beside her.
Ange didn't know that. Do it.
Because she said we can take it as many times as possible.
You can.
So I'm going to start off with her and then.
Okay, so do it independently. You need to do this independently, and then either Ange or I can help you with the certificate if you know how to do it.
You can do it immediately.
Okay, that's fine. So, yes, you can do it on the... Oh, well, all right. Don't do that yet, then. Because it's very annoying to have to do it twice. Well, I'm annoyed to have to do anything twice. Okay, so we are kind of here. Some of you are here, getting down towards working knowledge. Some of you are moving more towards working questions. And we're starting to think about research questions. I'm just going to perch it. So we started by choosing a fairly broad topic. IT and marketing, IT and influencers, IT and shopping habits. We've had some fairly broad ideas.
Yeah.
We started to read about that, and many of you have done quite a bit of reading already, which is brilliant. So this means you can start to find out what's going on in the area, what are the key topics, what are people researching. You're then narrowing it down to this niche that you want to focus on. And from there, this is where looking at the gaps, looking at the end of research and where they say further research is needed. And honestly, nearly all research you read will say at the end, more research is needed on this because things change. You know, things change all the time.
Well, why is the triangle upside down?
Because we're going from a broad thing down to a very narrow working thesis. Yeah, it's a upside down hierarchy almost. Because you're reading loads at the moment and you'll carry on reading loads, but what you read about is going to get narrower and narrower and narrower as you approach your topic of interest. And at this really early start, we've been doing some preliminary research, talking to each other, narrowing down, trying to put boundaries. That's the other thing. I think that video we watched week before last was really interesting in terms of looking at how you put boundaries about your research. Are you looking at shopping habits in the UK, in the world, in Europe? Are you looking at all age groups or some age groups? Where are the boundaries on your work? And often we need boundaries for this work to be practical. Okay, so many of you have one piece of literature already, but what I'd like you to do is to be able to tell us, the rest of the class, a bit about this to prepare for your presentation. So what I'd like you to do, where it says you have some idea of the key concepts and theories, if you're just looking at it for the first time, do that. For those of you who are much more familiar with it, what I'd like you to do is identify 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses, and a kind of what next. Oops. Now, if you don't have a piece already, then we'll spend some time looking for some, and I can help you with that. So 2 strengths, 2 weaknesses. Yeah. 2 weaknesses. What next? And when you frame your strengths, not I think it's good because they use this method, which is good because the sampling they use is good because, and that's where you can start making those links to the literature. Now, who hasn't got a piece of literature yet that they are going to be looking at? Lady next to you. Do you have a piece of literature to look at yet? Okay, so anybody need reminding how to use Google Scholar with the library? No? Okay. So over to you. We'll do this till about past, then you can go for coffee, okay? Okay.
What she writes in the last part? What?
What next?
Next. Thank you.
Okay. You've gone down that rabbit hole. Sorry? You've gone down the rabbit hole. Yes. Okay, that's good. Okay, I mean, it's interesting. Okay.
Save. And transition. Go. 2025. This reduction. The contribution of first century conceptual analysis.
He's looking for more articles.
Yeah, I'm finding one excellent, but it's 2022.
That's not excellent then. That's a secondary source.
I need to find something more. Is TV digital transition in Italy?
You don't have the main article? You still don't have it?
Hmm? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Getting a bit worried now.
I am masochist, man.
Huh?
I am masochist with these articles.
You're a hoarder. You're hoarding way too many articles. Like, you're gonna get lost in it.
No, because
you can use AI for that. You can put the article in there and ask AI to summarize it for you. So you don't have to read all that.
Good things, yeah.
I do use AI.
Yeah, me too.
I do. And if they're gonna tell me to stop, I'm not gonna do that. If anything can make my work easier, I'm all up for that.
Exactly here. Yeah, we have break now.
Well, I think I kind of got the answer. Break will be from podcast, I think.
I need one coffee. Oh my god.
I need breakfast because I normally eat in the morning, so I'm getting a bit hungry. Because I normally don't leave house without breakfast. I don't even have lunch. Because I spent yesterday at a friend's house, so I didn't think it would take that long. I was a bit annoyed.
Chester.
So I had to cancel the Saturday.
Yeah? Should we use that in this business? Sure. Oh, find a lot of places for articles.
sad. You stupid things.
Who's saying you don't?
It's a page.
Ah.
Read it. Big cats
Wait, what is this?
There's Alex.
Ah.
There's Alex. Oh,
Yeah. You love the cats.
I love animals in general. I'm from a countryside, so I'm used to see like cows.
But now your house is impossible. Yeah.
With foxes outside, but what I don't like actually, that cats from our neighbors are going to our garden to eat and poop.
Oh.
I don't like that.
This is terrible. I know.
Yeah,
And they smell terrible. And so much.
it's like ammonia.
Yeah. Ah, it's very strong.
Yeah,
Especially the cat.
like males.
Yeah,
And like I love the animals, but they make a lot of noise.
And they even
Like-
and the
I couldn't sleep because of there were bloody foxes. Yeah. And
because some people give food for these animals or something.
no, on a weekend, because we live next to the block of flats, so they got into the big container and they drag out
looking
a
for-
bin bag full of some crap, and they
Mhm.
just they drag it into our garden and they just open it up. So I had to clean it. Bloody mess.
Yes.
And the squirrels are naughty because they go into our potlands and they dig them out. Yeah, because they use it as a stash for their nuts. Look what they did. I took a picture. Lovely foxes, no?
Ah.
Hmm?
Yes.
It's like
because
a-
they looking for food for.
Yeah. And
This is where outside your house. Yeah. Destroy everything. This is
Yeah.
inside or outside?
it's outside, and here is my window.
Oh.
So it's another reason why I cannot sleep. They make bloody noise.
I know. It's terrible.
There's kitchen here, and I've got window just here.
It's difficult to sleep with this noise around you, your window.
Yeah, they're like, they've got like a strange noise. They sometimes sound like a baby is crying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's noise like there's some sort of a monster there. Like, oh, I don't know. I can't even reproduce that. It's really
Welcome to London.
really, really naughty. Sure, I've got something else in mind. But yeah, this is recent. A mess in the garden.
No, I didn't go to for coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, one strong coffee. Two strange, two witnesses.
And what next?
My very strange is when you go to the toilet.
Gonna fit in? Yeah.
What we're looking at because you have to talk about the date. Oh yes. Yes, but it's a review. So you can use this for next time, but it's a review already. I don't want you to review a review. Okay, so download it, keep it, but go back to searching. You found something, right? You found something. Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. I've got something for you. This is nice. Did you make it? Yeah, tell Mum she's done a good job. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. So that fits. And you've got
this guy?
good. So
Here, this one. Again, yeah.
Because he don't feel well.
Just
Feel
check
fever.
that this
You should go home.
I don't know.
Okay, good.
We're not at work, we were getting paid to stay there, so. It's like Summerjit, he went home as well.
Okay, so that
Because he's not feeling well. I've been to him last week, and he was telling me that he came here, but he's going home because he's not feeling well. I see him Thursday, and he didn't come Thursday. But he should go see a doctor if he's like this, like for too long. This is not okay.
Yeah. So when you present it, part of the
I don't have his number, but I think he's probably on the group.
Yeah.
I think he's on the group.
Yeah, a month, something like that.
Huh?
I told you what is Sumojit. He don't feel well.
Yeah,
Right.
something to him last week.
Thank you. Okay. Research article. Good. Yes.
Did you get the coffee? No.
No. I need to buy one. You like coffee now?
I've got.
No, I don't have coffee. Nothing.
I managed to do just that, but no breakfast.
This morning I don't. I feel tired. I don't do nothing.
No, I don't sleep. Like,
Yeah, I sleep 6 hours, something like that. Because I
I wake up like way too much, and I don't sleep like for too long. I sleep like
Right, get the coffee.
4 hours,
it's nice.
and then I wake up and I keep like